WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, nothing. Just, pretty week. It had a banger of an end, though.
It was the weirdest week for the Hawks to go winless, but also feel extremely happy and satisfied.
Hey, 2 points, baby. 2 points in the 4 games.
Hawks had 4 games this past week. We're going to probably just skim over the first 3 because I think the real story here was everything that went down last night or Sunday night when you're listening to this. And at the UC in the Madhouse, a lot of his history coming back to the stadium. Nostalgia nonstop for almost every generation of Hawk fan from the 90s and Cup era fan bases. But let's get into the game recaps real quick here. Hawks kicked off against Carolina. We were recording. I did not watch this game. I was tuning in a little bit here and there. But I think we both said the same thing. Carolina's good.
Carolina is good. Yeah, they really outplayed the Hawks hard. It was it's the lone away game that they have in February, and it did not go their way at all.
Carolina outshot the Hawks 42-17.
That's right.
Holy shit.
Yes, this is the game that we were talking about, like Spencer Martin being in net, and like he had a pretty good record going into this while being on Carolina. He's nothing special, but everybody on social media was posting stuff about how like Bedard fucking stares him down after scoring another goal that gets taken away. And then he points at the scoreboard. It's like, buddy, like,
dude, Bedard had 3 points in this game. Hawks only scored 3 goals.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous that this team right now is just going to go as far as Bedard takes them.
Pretty much. I just think it's funny. Like, last place team in the league, you give up 3 on 17, and you're pointing at the scoreboard to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, especially when you're a nobody. Like, if you're like a big name goalie or something, or like even like a higher end prospect goalie, and you're going after like the next big thing, yeah, I can see that. But when you are a guy that's bounced around the league, and the only reason you're playing right now for and looking good is because you're on a fucking stat Carolina team.
Yeah, their defense makes every goalie look good, pretty much.
These goalies are irrelevant. Anyway,
also the fact that like you're on the team because you got waived. Like another team, you weren't good enough to be on Columbus, and Carolina Carolina just needed another goalie because Ronta's got issues and Freddie Anderson's always hurt, and they're like, all right, bring him in. That's all we need. We just need someone.
Yeah, and as usual, Peter Mrazek played great. 36 for 41. I mean, like you mentioned before we started recording, he's just looking like he's getting tired now because having to fucking carry this team on his back every single night. I mean, that gets old.
Yeah, this one's a little bit tougher of a loss just because it is 5 that he gave up when he's been stellar and usually giving up only close to 2-3.
Yeah, he wasn't getting much support though, so it's like can't.
The Carolina is so good too, right? Like 42 shots, man.
They're such a good team, but they also just like sneak in there. They fly under the radar. Like, I couldn't tell you where they were in the standings.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, I would not be able to tell you where in the standings they are. I think they're in second, though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's good for them. I don't know how much of a true playoff contender they are because I just think their goaltending is going to end up faulting on them. But,
also, Svechnikov's going to get hurt at some point here soon.
That is true. That is also true. Fast forward a couple days. Flyers in town. It was interesting to see how this one was gonna go with just Torts and Bedard, old man versus the up and comer in the league. And I mean, it was fairly close throughout the first. The first goal for Philadelphia was just unfortunate for Soderblom. Traffic in front, and I think it actually just banked off of Vlasic, past him, redirected. Soderblom was going left, the puck went right. Nothing you can do there. Hawks answered up pretty quickly, though, with a, first off, underrated play, the bank pass off the boards to clear the zone.
Yeah.
Joey Anderson fucking just sent Blackwell, who went in and just was able to show extreme patience, toe drag, hold it, and fire it in the net to tie it up. I feel like he scored more than 4 goals this year, but that was only his 4th. Just the way he talked and he gets cocky, like.
Well, he was also hurt until like late November, or just.
No, I know, but I mean, just like him talking about like the whole like chip on his shoulder, everyone looks past me kind of thing. You think he was having like a better season, Then I'm like, oh, it's like goal 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the Hawks because he's probably like 4th on the team in goals.
That is true. Then after that, it was it was just second period, 2 goals, make it 3-1. Soderblom again doesn't get the win, but I thought he played a lot better in this one than he has in the last couple starts. 30 for 33 and 909 save percentage. It's like, I don't know. It's like there's plays with him where it's like, dude, what the hell? But then there's also like, okay, well, there's nothing he can do. He's making saves and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah, that's the thing with Soderblom and people were. I saw a post online where it was just like, yeah, he's gone winless in his last. I mean, it's 12 now, but it's not his fault because if you look at the games that he's played since his last win against Toronto, the Hawks literally score 0-1 goals in most of those games, and if they get like more than 2, it's only happened like 1 time, and it was that St. Louis game that they lost like 7-5.
Yeah,
but pretty much they're scoring 1 or no goals, and really lucky if they get 2, and then those games are like 2-3 in a loss, or like 2-4 with like an empty netter. And so like I don't really know if you can really blame Soderblom for like a lot of this stuff, but it's just like the eye test. Mrazek's way more impressive because he's making a lot of really impressive stops, and Soderblom's not doing terribly. It's just compared to Mrazek in the same situation, like Mrazek's looking a lot better.
Right, and Mrazek is getting majority of the bulk, so it's like when Soderblom plays, it's like really noticeable. It's like, okay, he has not played in a minute. I was just trying to pull up like February 21st, February 15th, then January 24th, January 18th, and January 5th. Those are his last 5 starts. It's like it's tough to get going, especially especially in the NHL when it's like top of the top, and it's like you've talked about this before on the show, like being a goalie, it gets kind of hard when you're not consistently playing or get into a rhythm and you're only playing every so often. So it's like I don't know. I don't think he needs. Do you think he needs to go anywhere? Do you think they need to bring up anybody else from the AHL? Just to give him a shot?
I think they're fine where they're at. I mean, here's something that's like a little bit more impressive over the last since the new year, right? So he's only played like 6 games since then, and he's got an over 90% save percentage in 4 of those 6 games. So that's like not too shabby. And he just got blown out against Seattle with 6 goals, and then didn't face a ton of shot. Or I mean, he had 26 shots against when he played against Pittsburgh and let up 3. But he's not doing terrible because there's a few blowout games, right? He's got a few more blowout games than Mrazek has, but pretty often he's giving up maybe 3 or 2 goals, and those are games that you can be in. And I'm just going based off of since the new year started. Yeah, his goals against is 2, 3, 3, 6, 3, 3. So it's not terrible. The 6 is outstanding, as pretty bad. But if you're giving up only 3, those are games you're probably pretty close to being in. The only problem is the Hawks are only getting 0 to 1 goals in those games.
Yeah.
And so it's like, fuck, man. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, look at his last 5 at least. That's what I have here. It's 3-1, 4-1, 2-6, 3-0, 4-2. Like,
yeah.
And then you got to think about too the Pittsburgh one. 2 of those goals were against Sidney Crosby. One was his team just left Crosby wide open in front of him. Like, what is he supposed to do on that?
Yeah, like he really has to get a shutout in order to win this season.
Right. And even if he gets a shutout, it's going to go to a shootout, and they're going to lose 1-0.
Yeah.
Still technically gets the shutout, but
like the first win of the season against Toronto is a 1-goal game that they won. He gave up only 1 on 36 shots. Like, that's what he has to do in order to get a win, because the next game against Toronto was 3 goals on 37 shots. But luckily, the Hawks had put in enough offensive support that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if it sucks, but there's nothing you can really do about it because he's not really, like I said, he's not playing terribly. Eye test wise, Mrazek looks better, but he's also not getting any offensive support. So it is what it is.
And again, too, we talked about this all the time. This is a season that means nothing. The only thing that matters about this season is securing that top 5 draft pick.
Yeah, so and then bringing in whatever kids are coming from college pretty soon, giving them some ice time too.
So if this team was competing in within a playoff spot, yeah, I think you would see something different. I think you'd probably give another guy a shot from the A. But Noli said it best when he's in the Mel Gibson Braveheart hold gif to when Post is like, Soderblom's got to go, and he's just like, hold.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go anywhere.
No, doesn't do anything. So yeah, Hawks dropped that one 3-1. Then on Friday, the Winnipeg Jets came to town. I know nothing. I didn't get to watch this game because I was in Michigan, and apparently Michigan is blacked out for Winnipeg and Chicago. So take it away, Tanner.
Yeah, I mean, this was a solid game. Hawks and Winnipeg. It was a good battle. I was hoping the Hawks were going to win this one, just because then they would split the season series against Winnipeg, who's one of the better teams in the Central, and I just wanted them to beat Winnipeg this year. That's about it. But yeah, Nikolai Ehlers, man, he just kind of had a couple nasty goals, and then Blackwell answered back, and then this is the one where Tyler Johnson ends up getting the goal with the empty net. And I was like, fuck yes! And it was kind of late. And my wife was falling asleep on the couch. And she's like, oh, why? Fuck her! And then as soon as the Hawks scored, I was like, yes. They have a chance. You get Bedard in OT. All right, sounds good. And then overtime starts, and they're going with Dickinson, Foligno, and Seth Jones. I was like, all right, okay. Different than I was expecting. And then they get the face off. I'm like, cool, let's get a quick change. Let's get Bedsy, let's get Kurashev out there. And then they don't. And I'm like, all right. And then Winnipeg gets the puck, and nobody goes for Kyle Connor. Seth Jones is literally the closest player to him, and then he's pointing at other players. And then I think it's Foligno is the furthest player away and comes crashing to the puck, and it goes off of Foligno's skate and then just over Mrazek, and that's just how it ends. At the beginning of overtime.
So kind of when Bedard ended against
stupid.
So kind of like how Bedard ended against Winnipeg in that one overtime game.
Yeah,
nobody went after him.
Yeah. No, he just had all day. It's like, what's happening? They know this is Kyle Connor, right? He's typically putting up 30+ goals a year. Why?
Real quick to go back to the Philly game because you brought up Foligno.
Oh yeah.
The mic'd up moment with Bedard and Foligno on the bench.
Oh yeah.
When talking about I was gonna give. You think I was gonna give it to you? You go, no, you're just moving slow. Well, no, we get cut back. Well, no, then the back check gets me. Then Foligno, you could see working on his face, and he's like, "Wait, did you just call me slow? No, you're moving slow. You're pissing me off."
Yeah, right. I love those
People Appleton had the best tweet about that. He goes, This is my favorite father-son in the NHL.
It absolutely is.
You're the best. Like, I fucking love Foligno. I'm so glad he's here for 2 more years.
Absolutely. I love those types of mic'd up moments. I hate when they're like, oh, let's listen on the mic'd up moments, and then it's like,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, and it's like, wow, that was great. I'm really glad we listened to that.
I just think too, like listening to Connor Bedard, like it, like with those mic'd up moments like that, it like really reminds you that he's a fucking 18-year-old kid. Because you listen to him talking, and it's just like, it's like, man, you're a child.
He's so good. He's so much fun to watch. My God, was that the game too? Where going back to Philly,
yeah,
when he was going 1-on-1 with the defenseman and smacked his stick away and then tried to backhand it on net.
Yeah, against Sealer.
Yeah, why not?
Everybody's like, shot. Everybody's like, oh no, Bedard mishandled the puck there, and then it was like, wait a second, I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Which is so funny. Yeah, stick with the defenseman before they could do it to you. Like, why not?
Yeah, right.
So funny. I love it. Anyway, like the Winnipeg game the Hawks played solid that game. Mrazek played solid. Just couldn't get it done. 35 shots to 31. Hawks had the advantage there. That's pretty nice. They actually did not get outshot in the third period, mainly because they had like the empty net and they were putting pucks on net there. But pretty decent game for both sides. The ending was just so shit. Yeah, they did. A lot of really tight games. They're all one goal games. But I mean, Winnipeg's not really. Except for the first one. Winnipeg's not. I don't think Winnipeg has been a very offensively powerhouse kind of team, though. They've been more of like a defensively reliable kind of.
I mean, they've only scored 172 goals this year, which
seems low. Like a little over 3. I guess.
Yeah, I mean
It's not terrible. The Hawks probably have like barely 2 a game. There we go. Figure it out.
Yeah, Hawks have 123 goals.
Yeah, so like barely over 2.
Still not the worst goals for team in the league.
Goals for per game. Hawks are they are 2.07.
I'm talking about total goals for. Like, I wasn't saying like that. Like,
their goals for per game though is the worst in the league.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Sharks have 3 games in hand, so them being at 117 doesn't look as bad when they're at 2.09 goals per
118.
game. Oh, what?
Yeah, Sharks 118.
Oh, are they playing currently or something?
Oh, I'm just looking at NHL.com. NHL.com also sucks, so who knows?
It says 117 on mine.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking what a cool website.
Yeah, 118 and 215 against. That's NHL's. Fucking figure your website out. God damn. You got anything else for Winnipeg?
No, not for that.
All right, let's.
Where's the main event? Winnipeg's 18th in the league in goals per game, and it's funny because they're a full goal per game higher than the Hawks at 3.07.
Bedard needs help.
Yeah,
Bedard needs help. Don't worry, Celebrini's on his way.
He'll be there soon. If it makes you feel better, the Hawks are 6th or tied for 5th in the league with goals against per game. 3.51.
Thanks, Mrazek.
Yeah, I know we're not last there. San Jose takes the cake there. San Jose had like so many games with like 10 fucking goals. So funny. All right, back at it. Winnipeg's over.
The main event of the episode. Sunday was just a monster day on the books. It was already marked on everybody's calendar for Chelios' retirement. When that got announced, that kind of shocked everybody. Mainly because I was expecting Steves to go with him.
Seems will eventually.
Right, he will eventually, but like it was like one of those things where all of our conversation always was, okay, when Sieb goes in, does Chelios go with him?
Yeah.
That was like always the conversation we had about that topic with the retiring numbers. So to see Chelios go up there, which definitely deserved. I mean, say what you will about his time in Chicago. He didn't win a Stanley Cup. I mean, he won 2 Norris trophies. He was, I think, a 9-time All-Star in Chicago.
Stanley Cup finalist.
Stanley Cup finalist, even though we got dicks kicked in by Yager and Lemieux.
Was that right? It was a 9-time. So like, was that every season in Chicago?
It was either 8 or 9.
Maybe besides one, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll find out.
So he was 11-time total.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, and the pure reason he deserves to be retired is he is the all-time leader in penalty minutes for Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, that means something.
I mean, 1,400 penalty minutes, over 1,400 penalty minutes. That's something to shake your head at, man. I mean,
he's only a 7-time All-Star.
7 times for Chicago?
Yeah. I want to say not all Chicago. No, he had one in Detroit.
Did I miss count one of those? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So yesterday was going to be a big day regardless.
Yes.
Then, mid-season, Patrick Kane signs with Detroit.
Yep.
Who hasn't been back to the United Center yet.
Coincidence.
Yeah. Signs with Detroit. So that made last night even fucking bigger. Too bad it didn't live up to the hype. I mean,
yeah, man.
It was an awesome night. Chelios brought back a lot of his former teammates. Before everything got started, they had a panel with Tony Monty, Jeremy Roenick at Belfour. It's great to see Roenick back in the fold in Chicago. Coming back here and talking. Monty looks great. The last time I saw a video of him, he was really overweight and all that, and he looks like he's got himself in good shape and all that.
Slimmed it back down.
Yeah, Belfour looks like he was handling his liquor that day. But then you guys like, who else was there? Like Reed Simpson.
Cindy Crawford.
Oh my god, yeah, not even just his teammates, the celebrities that were at the fucking game.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman,
Cindy Crawford, Eddie Vedder, Kid Rock was there, Brett Hall.
Did you say Wayne Gretzky already?
Wayne Gretzky.
Did you see that? Like, I don't know what the actor's name is, but he was the fucking doctor in Scrubs.
Dr. Cox.
Yeah, he was sitting with Wayne Gretzky. I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, he's best friends with Chris Chelios.
Is he really?
Yeah, he always wore Chelios' Detroit jersey and Scrubs.
I remember him having the Detroit jersey. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a Chelios one. Yeah, he's really good friends with Chelios, which is
hilarious.
So funny. It's
just
like the absolute social event of the year. Like all these people coming out to Chicago.
It was the hottest celebrities of the 90s. So
he gave a great speech, talking, thanking everybody.
He talked about Siebes knocking Bacchus out. It was just like, throwing that out there, dude. Like, what a funny thing. It's like when you knocked Bacchus on his ass. I was like, all right.
We didn't even talk about the Cup guys that were there. Seabrook, Keith, Hossa, Sharp.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Why wasn't Taze there?
I don't know.
Is it just because he's still like an active player?
He's technically not an active player. He's not signed anywhere.
He's not retired. That's the only thing I can think of.
But he's not in the league.
It wouldn't have made like a lot of sense for Taves to be there because especially since Kane's back and I don't know. Maybe he's just like, nah. Who knows?
I don't know. I still go under. I mean, it's a topic for another time, but I still think that there's some smoke to the fire that things didn't end as on the up and up with those two, with the Hawks as they lead on to be. So who knows? Maybe he's just not ready to come back yet.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible. I don't know. Yeah. When Chelios starts talking about Kane though too, saying that he's going to go down as the greatest American-born player of all time, and he thought it was pretty. It was like seeing you in that jersey, it's pretty weird, but it'll grow on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, shut up.
But and then they showed Kane. Like I was laughing. Like Kane looked like a little kid. Like the hat he had on looked like it didn't fit him right, and it just looked like he was like a little kid wearing his dad's hat, sitting on the bench watching everything. But yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad that he got his moment to come back and really go out and put home for like the Chicago idol that he is. I mean, he lived every Chicago hockey player's dream. Not only did he play in the NHL, he played for the Blackhawks, the hometown team, and got his number retired by them. Like, that's amazing. He's only the second Chicago athlete, like Chicago-born athlete, to have his number retired by a Chicago team.
Yeah. Isn't that like him and Dick Butkus, right?
Yep.
Are the only athletes to play for their hometown team and get the jersey numbers retired?
Yeah.
In like every sport or 4 major sports.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. How did you feel like watching all that? Like, because it's like we grew up on that era.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, there's some parts of me that feels like the Cup era is more of ours because we understood more what was going on with that versus what was in the 90s, where the 90s was just hockey, watching hockey and all that.
Yeah, but the thing with that too is like it's not even on TV, where I'm so much more in tune with the 2010s, like the Stanley Cup teams, because I was able to watch every fucking game. Like in the 90s, it's like unless you went to the game, like you didn't see anything.
Went to the game or just watched every road game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I identify more with or relate more to like the teams that won the cups, but you still know of like the guys when you were a kid, right? Like,
right. Like the way I see it, like my opinion with that is identify more with like the Cup era team because we, like you said, we absorbed it all. We followed it. We knew exactly what was going on with that team. But the nostalgia of the 90s guys was like, that's what made me fall in love with the game, with this team and all that. So it was a really weird.
Well, those are also the first guys we're playing with in video games. So that's like the other connection. It's more of like it's the nostalgia connection of like the older games and like the way that the teams were. And then just the era of like Chicago itself, because like that's when the Bulls are going off and like all this other just really cool stuff. It's like a completely different era. There's like the 90s, which was pretty neat, the early 20s or 2000s, which was not neat at all.
Yeah.
and then there's the late 2000s to 2010s that were pretty goddamn cool too.
It was kind of cool because a lot of the people at that stadium were there for Kane. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good chunk that was there for Chelios and all that because I mean, Chelios is known by a lot of the new age fans and all that. But it was really cool that a lot of those people who were there for Kane and got a real good glimpse at what the 90s Blackhawks were. They got to see a lot of the players from the 90s. They got to see Chelios's montage video and all his moments and hear all the stories and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really cool, like full circle moment almost like, hey, especially it's like, hey, people that used to call you the bandwagoners now, it's like, now exactly like where everything came from, full circle. Here you go. Let's go. We're all on the same page now.
Yeah. For all the fans that have been sitting in the 300s for plenty of years before the Cup years. This is what they got to experience.
Yeah. It just also though too kind of hit home with me. Like I really hope the Hawks do some sort of like Ring of Honor or Team Hall of Fame. Because like it shows you there's so many guys in this organization that deserve to be recognized and get some sort of honor. But they need to stop the jersey retirements unless you absolutely deserve it.
Right. Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, I would say like guys like Roenick, Belfour, they're not going to get their jersey numbers retired, but like they should be honored and it's like
Yeah.
huge players in the organization.
Especially how big that 90s core was. Like,
yeah,
that team deserved a cup, man. They were so good.
yeah.
Like,
And
it
they got
sucks
swept.
that they never won. Yeah, they get swept. But yeah, that was really awesome. And
I was hoping that when the warm up started, just like how Pittsburgh went out and wore all Yager jerseys, I was hoping they would wear the Chelios, like the blacks. Like, that would
yeah.
have been sick.
And
But,
I liked your idea too of Detroit wearing Detroit Chelios jerseys.
right? How
It
cool
would have
would
been
that
cool.
have
It
been?
wouldn't make sense, but I mean, it would have been
Because it's
cool.
24.
Yeah. But I know we got Dan Potey getting our hopes up that potentially we're gonna bring back the black jersey. Like, this is going to be the night they reveal it and all that kind
The
of stuff.
unveiling.
But and then you got clowns like Lazarus saying that the black jersey sucks. And I mean, he's literally the only person I saw on social media or I've ever heard say anything bad about that jersey.
You're probably just trying to get some interaction.
We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-878-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours of issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligible and deposit restrictions, terms, of responsible gambling resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. But yeah, after all that happens, there was still a hockey game to be played.
Yeah, pretty good one, huh?
Yeah. This one was a lot of fun to watch. I missed the first goal. I was picking up dinner for Detroit. Was it Sprong was like on the ground on the ice?
Yeah,
shooting?
he passed it over to, I forgot who was on the line with him, and then they lost the puck, and he just like left his feet to put it in, and like Mrazek didn't see the puck get lost, and he just roofed it on a wide open net. Just coming from the side of the boards.
So that made it 1-0. That was like last minute of the first two, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was only 40
Vintage
seconds left
Blackhawks
on
giving
the
up
clock.
a goal in a single minute. Second period starts pretty early on. Entwistle, that shithead, it's the back of the net to tie it up.
It is honestly like Reese Johnson had a great game, and the
That line
whole
played
opportunity
really well.
was the opportunity was because of Reese Johnson getting a really nice shot on net, and then all three of them literally crashing the net, and Donato just throwing it back to Entwistle, and he just was able to put it in.
Do you know who led the Blackhawks in shots on goal?
It was Reese Johnson, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, baby. I'm telling you, Reese Johnson's the man.
they were, that line was feeling it.
Yeah.
Then you go to the power. Hawks go on the power play.
The only penalty of the game, by the way.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah. Wow. Okay,
Crazy.
and the Hawks score on it.
Yeah.
As soon as he picks up the puck, or the Hawks get the puck in the zone, Seth Jones gets it. I'm just like, great. Let's see him try to force this through and not look at Bedard, who's always wide open on the side. And surprisingly, he slid it over to Bedard. Bedard fucking lets a ripper, and just bounces off Foligno into the net for the Hawks to take the 2-1 lead. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
Pretty solid. I mean, I don't understand. Like all this team has to do is just give him the puck.
Do they
what the
not
team.
know how easy this is? Like, come on.
Yeah, half the time that's not what they do. Seth
Oh,
Jones.
yeah.
Seth Jones.
We will touch back on that in here in a little bit. So the Hawks go into the third up 2-1. And looks like the Hawks were gonna win this one, spoil Kane's return. And with less than 5 minutes left, DeBrincat picks a puck up behind the net, throws it on net, and somehow banks it off of Mrazek for a really weird fucking angle goal.
Yeah,
Ties it up,
happens.
assist from Kaner on it. So
Yeah.
the Red Wings revenge game, or the Kaner DeBrincat revenge game, well intact there. So game goes to overtime. And
Hawks get the greatest opportunity to just end it.
Seth Jones comes in with the puck.
Connor Bedard's wide open on the far side.
Fucking wide open. All he's got to do is slide it over. Empty net. There's no way Reimer's getting over to it. But what does Seth Jones do? Shoots the puck.
Stuffs it into the goalie.
Then what does he do again? Picks up the rebound. Tries to stuff it again. But really hard this time because, if you shoot it harder from very close, it's going to go in that time. Instead, shoots out a giant-ass rebound to DeBrincat, who then throws it up to none other than Patrick Kane,
who is trailing the play because he was tired.
He's tired, and partially I think he realizes, like, oh, Seth is going to fucking miss the net on this, and it's going to come right back to me. Because that's usually what happens in overtime, is he misses the net, and it rings out to the guy, the high guy.
Yeah. Well, or he was just like, oh, Bedard's wide open, like, this is over. And then he's like, I can't believe he didn't give it to him.
DeBrincat gives the puck to Kaner. Kaner goes in a breakaway. We've seen this story before. We all witnessed this many times.
Yeah.
Couple little quick stick handles, top shelf. Showtime, baby. Game over. Red Wings win. Kaner goes to the crowd and starts screaming, show fucking time. Fucking showtime, baby.
I think the only thing that could have topped it would have been if he would have done the heartbreak Sally.
Oh my God. If he would have done that.
The ender in Chicago and just oh no. No. Oh my
When
God.
was the last time you heard the United Center that loud for a goal?
I don't know. They had the they were like, was it the sound, like the decibel meter, during some point in the game, and hit like 108. I saw. Yeah. Oh yeah. What about even Kaner's like tribute video during the game too? Like they made him take like several laps.
Yeah, 3 laps. He's like, he even said in the post game, he's like, yeah, it like took 3 laps. I don't know if that was like too many or what. But
it's like felt weird, probably just standing there. It's like everybody cheered like crazy. I think it's probably the decibel meter. That would make sense.
It is insane. Like I never thought I would ever hear a Red Wings win in the United Center and get that loud of a reaction. Like it was just
like right after they did the Kane video, there was a Detroit sucks chant immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, it's Kane, man.
I mean, was there any other than the Hawks winning this game with like Bedard doing something? Could you have scripted a better ending to this game?
I mean, no.
Like it was like
who else? Like Oli Mata getting in on it? Like he was an ex-Hawk.
But but it's just like the storybook ending. Patrick Kane finally comes back to the United Center. Like, of course, this game was either going to be Bedard winning it by doing something ridiculous or Patrick Kane doing Patrick Kane things and winning it. Yeah. Like, that's the only 2 options for this game.
Yeah, that's all I thought was it was either Kane or DeBrincat, or sorry, Kane or Bedard that's going to win the game. Like, that's it. Nobody else is going to win the game.
And I just love to, though. And of course, it always feels like it always happens. I make the post on Instagram about Bedard hitting Kane and saying, nice to see you, Kaner. It's this is Bedsy's town now. And lo and behold, my caption ages perfectly well. Like cheese in the sun. Kaner comes out and fucking just embarrasses Bedard by making him look like showing like, yeah, no, this is still my town, and clearly well deserved. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was fucking. It was
a
such an
fun
awesome
one.
game. It was awesome. Like, it was great watching hockey. Like, even though it meant nothing, like it just felt like high stakes game.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
But
it's a good time. Hawks could have won. Hawks should have won.
They should have won. I don't know. This Red Wings team it's been kind of fun to watch. I'm kind of like keep an eye on them a little bit, just kind of focusing on Kane.
Yeah, they gotta pick up the pace a little bit. But I mean, Kaner is a point per game, so he's doing what he needs to do, showing everybody that he still got it. So
yeah, I wonder if they're having extension talk yet.
Maybe, unless Kaner's thinking like it's not gonna be the team to be on for next season.
Yeah, they're currently number one and got the top wild card spot with 2 games in hand on Tampa,
which is pretty nice.
Yeah, so I mean they're in a great position. They're in the Atlantic, right?
Yeah.
They're only 4 points behind Toronto.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that. That's pretty good. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Kaner and DeBrincat in the playoffs. I think they're pretty sweet.
Dude, NHL's better when the original 6 teams are good and in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no question. And potentially depends on how it plays out, though, too. If they finish in the top wildcard spot, it could potentially be Detroit versus the Rangers first round. The original 6 battle, Kane and DeBrincat versus Panarin. Oh
yeah, a little love triangle action.
The love triangle gets the full national television spotlight. Let's go.
That'd be so funny.
But yeah, so we talked about Keener, we talked about Betsy, we talked about Chelios. Let's talk about Seth Jones. What the fuck?
Talk about him.
What the fuck, dude? Like, I pulled for this guy, man. I wanted him on this team, and I was hoping he would find his form, coming to Chicago, being the guy kind of thing.
Yep.
And I feel like he gets worse.
So here's the thing. I honestly believe, like, I gotta believe this, man. Like, he does not want to give Bedard the puck, right? He doesn't want to. He absolutely does not want to. The reason being behind this too, like, stats wise, how many assists does Seth Jones have on Connor Bedard goals?
Do you have the number?
Take a wild guess.
4.
So Bedard's got 17 goals. Seth Jones has 17 assists.
3.
It's 2. Now, guess how many are primary assists where he actually gave him the puck?
0.
1. It's 1. You know who has more primary assists to Connor Bedard than Seth Jones?
Like, no.
Taylor Hall.
Who's played 10 games this year.
Who's played 10 games. And both of the assists that Seth Jones has for Connor Bedard are even strength. He's not assisted him on a power play goal at all.
You look on the power play, it's like he looks Bedard off. Like, he literally stares at him.
He does. Besides this last game against Detroit, there has not been a power play goal that Bedard and Seth Jones have combined for either assists or goals on.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, he realizes that Bedard is only going to help him, like.
All he has to do is get Bedard the puck, and he's going to rack up the points. Like, he decides that he's going to have his one goal and be like, we got to change that. I'm going to shoot all the time. This power play is mine. it's so weird to me that
And he's rubbing off on Korchinski a little bit. Like, I've noticed Korchinski picking up a little bit of Seth Jones habits, and I'm like, don't like that. He's been benched a couple times the past few weeks, and it's like Vlasic needs to stay as far as fucking away as possible from Seth Jones. Like, I don't
Vlasic's
know,
got to
man.
pick it up on each end. I just can't believe looking at the actual stats for like Connor Bedard's points and how few of them are combined with Seth Jones.
I knew it was gonna be bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Holy shit.
Yeah, 2 assists from Seth Jones on Connor Bedard goals, and then Bedard and Jones have combined assisted someone else together 3 times. And then obviously Seth Jones has 1 goal, so Bedard didn't fucking get the assist on that one.
So 5 goals
They've combined
of the Hawks 128 that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Was from your number 1 player and your quote unquote number 1 defenseman.
Yeah, as playing contributing both to that.
How much is it to cost? Would it cost us to buy Seth Jones?
It's so when we're talking about it, if you're Seth Jones and you want to put up more points, I think the obvious thing is just get Bedard the puck. I just don't get it. It clearly doesn't happen at this point. It's not like he's doesn't have the opportunities. He's clearly looking him off. Case in point, the end of the Detroit game.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's crazy.
Dude, the Hawks can buy him out, and it would cost them 1 point.
For what, the next 12 years?
Until 2035, 36.
Yeah, 12 years.
And you're only paying him 1.305 million per year.
Not for no way. That's not going to be every year. What's the middle? The middle's got to be 15 million.
Oh no, shit! I looked at the wrong thing. Buyout cost versus cap hit. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Never mind.
Okay. Can you find out what it is?
No, so the first year would be just over 3.3 million. Then it goes 5.3 million, 7.8 million, 8.3, 8.3, 8.3, and then it's the 1.305.
Okay.
Never mind. Fuck.
Yeah, that's not. It's not worth it.
My screen was all the way over, so all I saw was buyout cost, post buyout earnings, and savings, and I didn't see the actual cap hit part because it was off screen.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second.
I was like, that does not sound right at all. Oh my god.
I'm like, why are we not buying him out right now if that's the case? Yeah, I don't know. One last chance for me to say, fuck you, Bowman.
Yeah, right. All he has to do is just get on the puck, and I don't understand.
I just don't. Yeah,
the power play. It could all they're both up top, and the amount of it's just man, it's frustrating to think about.
Did he do this with Kane?
I don't think so.
Because Bedard's plugged into Kane's position on that power play.
I don't know. I feel like Kane was more of a distributor rather than a shooter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he respected Kane more for being 3-time Stanley Cup champion, and also being on the team for longer. And Seth Jones, if you just perceive it as he wants to be the leader of the team, but everybody's pointing at Bedard.
I was about to say, do you think, because remember last offseason he was talking about how he wants to be captain, and now he's third in line at least. I mean, I think he's deeper, but I mean, I would go
the A.
I would go Foligno, Bedard before I go Jones.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's as vocal as Foligno, obviously, but
he's not good, man. I don't get it. So we'll probably have this conversation in a couple of years, and who knows if it changes. Hopefully it does change. But revisiting my take on the Hawks picking him up, hand up, I fucked up on calling that one. Like, I'm wishing for that one. Like, I'm still not.
Maybe something's going to change. Something's got to change, right? Because if he's not producing and Bedard's still producing and they're on the same power play and there's 6 more years of that, like, the coach is going to have to be like, just get him the fucking puck or you're not going to be on the power play. Like, right? Like, what's the deal?
And what are you gonna do with the guy that's got a $9.5 million cap hit? Not gonna play him,
right?
Like, we're stuck.
So you just gotta figure it out.
Oh. All right. Well,
reduce the role. Well, I'm assuming Korchinski's gonna, right? Like, that's gotta be the plan. Korchinski's taking.
I'd rather go fucking 5 forwards at this point.
The top power play unit eventually within the next 6 years of Seth Jones' contract.
Korchinski's gonna take over for everything that Seth Jones was supposed to be. But temporary fix.
Put Vlasic out there on the power play.
Put Vlasic. Put 5 forwards. Fucking.
Who knows?
Put Mrazek out there. I don't know. Like, fucking Mighty Ducks 2 this shit. The goalie's the shooter. Yeah. Seth Jones.
What's coming up this week? Or actually 3 stars, huh?
3 stars. 3rd star will go
Tyler Johnson. Or Colin Blackwell. Colin Blackwell is a plus player this week.
Let's go Tyler Johnson, Colin Blackwell for 2nd.
Okay.
And for old time's sake, you want to give Kaner first?
Oh, wow. You're just going to skip Bedard and Foligno completely.
How many game-winning goals? How many game-winning goals do they have this week?
I mean, nobody.
Exactly.
I don't know why you would still go with Tyler Johnson and Colin Blackwell and then, hey, whatever. I mean, do whatever you want.
Fine. How about Patrick Kane 1st star, Bedard 2nd star, Foligno 3rd star.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
that works. That works.
Deserves it. All right. So coming up this week, they don't play again until Thursday when they take on Colorado.
Ew, really?
Yep. So a couple days off here. Then on Saturday,
to complete the heart that the schedule makes in February.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, we have a Alex Nylander revenge game as the Columbus Blue Jackets come to Chicago.
Alex Nylander, who was traded along with a 6th for someone else.
Yeah.
Emil Bemstrom.
And then on Monday, since we'll be recording Monday, they will be kicking off a 3-game road trip against Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that on Monday.
Yeah. And then we are.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's not going to air till Tuesday, so duh.
Yeah. So next week, also a week from Friday, is the trade deadline for the NHL.
That's right.
It's gonna get fun. And folks, we're in March. We'll be in March. We are in the home stretch, and some playoff hockey will be here. And then hopefully,
what I'm looking forward to is the draft lottery.
Yeah, I'll say hopefully a draft lottery win for the Hawks and Celebrini. Selly hard for Celebrini. Let's go.
Celebrate.
Yeah. So a lot of road games coming up too for the Hawks.
Yeah. So, I mean, they had only one in February, so
yeah. So
hey.
NHL talk. We kind of went long, which I figured we would with Hawks talk here, but one funny thing that came out was the NHL is concerned about Winnipeg's ticket sales going down.
Yeah.
And immediately when that started getting posted around, Arizona decided it was time for them to brag that they had their 4th largest ticket urban
something like that.
Something like that. But they failed to mention that it's in an arena that only holds 5,000 people.
It's like over $1 million. They got made over $1 million in season ticket sales or something.
Something like that. But anyway, Gary Bettman is so hard for Arizona that he thinks that they're in a better spot with no arena than Winnipeg is.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, why not?
I don't understand this. I don't understand why they keep pushing this Arizona stuff, and then any other market, smaller market, has a little bit of issue, and they're like, we got to address this instantly.
I mean, they want Arizona to work terribly bad, and I think because like Winnipeg is meant to work and it's not, and like Arizona is like not meant to work and it's not, so it's like less impressive that or less depressing, I guess, that it's not working.
Yeah, but
Winnipeg doesn't even have an airport.
Right, Winnipeg is just in a bad like Winnipeg doesn't make sense. I don't know why they were there to begin with, but you know what? Winnipeg's going to move back to Atlanta with this new group. That's
no.
Yes, they are.
They're going to move Arizona to Utah and then move Winnipeg to Arizona.
It's Atlanta's turn to lose a team again.
No, they already got two. They're going to
let's go back.
Let's do Kansas City, and then they can lose a team again. And then, I mean, Seattle's already up for their second try. Who else? Colorado's on their second try already. Who else are we missing?
It's just
Hartford.
Know,
maybe they're gonna go Hartford with one of these ones.
Quebec's due.
Hey, Quebec is due, but no, they don't want to do that.
That's another small Canadian market.
Yeah, too small.
But I don't know. Apparently, Atlanta's really pushing. Like they have a big investor group going. I know. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with it.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, who in Atlanta was not paying attention the last two times in Atlanta? I don't know. I would rather see Salt Lake City.
The more hearing about it, especially with them like getting ready for the Winter Olympics, like trying to, I don't know if they are officially it or they're like a favorite for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it could be a sick setup.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I drove through it.
Yeah, but I don't know. All I know is Winnipeg stays. Arizona's got to go. Stop pushing the desert because nobody in Arizona wants the Coyotes there.
Yeah,
Correction. Sometimes nobody who has a say in the authority to keep the Coyotes there wants the Coyotes there.
Yeah, which is just, I mean, it's so dumb, but whatever. Like, I don't know. If you had the opportunity to have a major sports team in your city, like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to have one.
Don't you think, too, like, if the Coyotes were to be sold, does any of that get kicked back to the other owners?
I don't know.
Or is there, like, some sort of, like, fee or something? Because I was also saying, like, the reason I'm asking because the Utah Jazz owner reportedly offered to buy the Coyotes for well over what their value is.
Yes.
So the rest of the league, I would be like, if they get some sort of kickback, you know, like, or whatever, it's like, why are they not like, yeah, no, you fucking sell this team right now. Like, fucking do it.
They probably don't. Maybe they don't have that kickback. Also, like, well over what their value is probably much under the value of an actual NHL team still.
That's true.
So it's like a steal of a deal.
I mean,
you know what Gary Bettman's probably just like, we can't sell low.
Dude, getting anything at this point is selling high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was the last expansion? It was like $650 million. Was it expansion fee or something like that for Seattle?
Oh, I don't know. That might have been one of several fees because I thought it was like over a bill.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Let me see. The Golden Knights had to pay $500 million in 2017, while Seattle had to pay $650.
Oh, okay. All right, you got it. You caught me. I didn't know.
Now they're projecting the next one could be between $2 and $2.5 billion expansion fee. That's just silly.
Yeah. Well, that for an expansion team?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is it because they're not really considering expansion at the moment? So they're maybe, I don't know. I feel like we have enough teams. I feel like that's enough. 32. That's enough.
I feel like 32 is a little too much.
Well, half the teams make it in, half the teams make it out of the playoffs. That's fine. Also, change the playoff format. I'm tired of it.
Sick of this shit.
We're talking about playoffs. Jesus.
All right. What do you got? Anything else?
That one kid on the Rangers that's like 6'8", that's fighting everybody. Everybody. He got absolutely smoked against Columbus.
Rempe?
It's like Rempe. Yeah.
Dude, cool for him. He got to do his rookie solo lap at the fucking outdoor stadium series game. That's pretty sick.
Series. Yeah, it's pretty tight. But yeah, he
gets tossed in the next game.
Ate so many punches against Matthew Olivier, which is just so funny. Yeah, he got tossed immediately against New Jersey. It said something like his total time on ice was like 5 minutes and penalty minutes 27. Like for the start of his career. It's like, that's hilarious. Yeah, I love it.
He's fighting a lot, but he's also losing a lot, and he ain't gonna last long if he keeps this up.
Hey, big old Bambi. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Shit. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, what'd you say? Trade deadline's coming up. Are we going to talk about that next week?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Throw up some hypotheticals next week.
Yes. All I'm going to say is, see you later, Tyler Johnson, and maybe see you later, Taylor Radish.
See you later, anybody not named Bedard, Mrazek, Dickinson, and Foligno.
Well, here's the thing. Who's going to fill Tyler Johnson and Taylor Radish's spots? Ever heard of Frank Nazar and Landon Slaggert? Maybe. Maybe. That's what I would hope. That's what I would see. That's what I would like.
I don't know.
Put it down. Also, I still think Anthony Beauvillier would be a good fit in Carolina.
I can see him getting him dealt too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of 1-year guys, I think, or one.
I think he's probably got the most. I mean, honestly, with him now being on Bedard's line, if he's able to start producing a little bit right before the trade deadline, some teams will probably look more at him too.
Blackwell too might get some kicks.
Yeah, it would make sense. I'm sure the rumors are going to start flying. As far as I know, I've seen like the trade bait boards, and there's literally no Hawks on it because
the only trade bait they had, they re-signed.
Pretty much. It's like Noah Hannafin and other Calgary players. It's like huge.
Dude, Kyle Davidson, work your magic and get somebody to take Seth Jones.
It's not going to happen.
We'll take a 7th-round pick. That's it. You don't
unless Toronto wants them, and like,
dude, give us whatever team wants to give us future consideration. Like, if you guys are sick of that guy in your team, we'll take a future consideration off your hands for Seth Jones.
He'll probably have more assists at the end of the year to Connor Bedard.
All right, episode 264. What do you want to call it?
Honestly, welcome back, Kane.
What is Showtime?
Showtime? I feel like did we not have a Showtime title before? It's got to be one. I guarantee it. It's probably episode 88.
No, I think episode 88 was just called the Caner.
Oh yeah. What about welcome back, Showtime?
All right, welcome back, Showtime. All right, make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed. Spotify, Apple Podcasts are the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCB Podcast. DraftKings promo code THPN. Yeah. We will we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.